Hi and good evening to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Noma Surina Amalia binti Malizan. I am from Engineering Electronic Telecommunications Design. My presentation this evening will concern primarily about Assignment 1. Definition of filter. A frequency filter, or also known as a frequency selective circuit, is a special type of a circuit which is used for filtering out some of the input signals on the basis of their frequency. A filter circuit plus some frequency signals without any attenuations, or with some application and attenuate other frequency, depending on the types of the filter. According to the construction of the filters, there are two types of filter. First is passive filter and active filter. Passive filter are made up of passive components such as resistor, capacitor, and inductors. It does not need any external source of energy. Therefore, there is no voltage gain in this filter. The output voltage is always less than input voltage. It can easily filter a high frequency signal, but it cannot process any low frequency. Second is active filter. Active filter use an active component such as an operational amplifier, transistor, and etc. The downside is the needs an external source of power, but it provides a high voltage gain. The gain is used for amplifying any weak input signals. The active filter can filter very low frequency signals, but it cannot process a very high frequency signals. They may have a little bit of complex design, but they provide very high input and low output impedance. Classification of filter. First is pass band. The band or frequency of the input signal that pass through the filter without any attenuation is called pass band. Usually the pass band has no gain considering the filter is a passive filter. In active filters, and the pass band may have some gain depending on the configuration of the circuit. Second is stop band. The band of frequencies of the input signal that are blocked or attenuated in the filter is called stop band. The gain at the stop is usually taken to be less than -3 dB of the input. -3 dB gain is considered for the first order filter. Second order filter has -6 dB gain, which decrease with the order of the filter. Third is bandwidth, the range of frequencies that are passed without any attenuation of the frequency that are attenuated is called the bandwidth of the filter. The width of the frequencies before or after the cut-off frequency is called bandwidth. It is the difference between both cut-off frequency of the band pass or band reject filter. This is the formula for bandwidth. Bandwidth equals to frequency 2 minus by frequency 1. Fourth is roll-off rate. It is the rate of change of gain or output power. The drop rate of gain of the filter is called the roll-off rate. It is expressed as a gain loss per decade or per octave. The roll-off rate on of the filter is 20 dB, decade or 6 dB. The per digit means with a 10 times increase in frequency, and the octave means a 2 times increase in frequency. Fifth is cut-off frequency. The passband and stopband are distinguished from each other by the cut-off frequency or conserved frequency. The output signal's voltage at the cut-off frequency is 70.7% of the input signal's voltage. It is also known as -3 dB frequency because -3 dB represents half power, and it is the frequency where the power of the output signal becomes half the power of the input signals. In a band pass or band reject filter, there are two cut-off frequencies. First is lower cut-off frequency, which is F1. The lower frequency at which the gain of the filter is half of -3 dB. Bandpass filter allow frequency after this point, whereas the bandstop filter blocks it. Second is upper cut-off frequency, which is F2. The upper frequency at which the output power is reduced by 1/2 of the input power. Bandpass filter does not allow frequency after this point, whereas the bandstop filter allows it. Center frequency, which is F0, the frequency that lies at the center of the pass band or stop band in a pass band filter or band reject filter, respectively, is called center frequency. It lies in between the two cut-off frequency, lower and upper cut-off frequency. In fact, it is the arithmetic mean of both cut-off frequency. F0 equals to F1 plus F2 multiplied by 2. Here the circuit of filter. First is low pass filter. Low pass filter allow low frequency signals without any attenuations, but it rejects any high frequency signal. The low pass filter has a reactive component whose reactance varies with the input frequency. Second is high pass filter. High pass filter is the type of filter that allows high frequency signals to pass without any attenuation. It is amplitude and blocks any low frequency signal is called high pass filter. Any signal with a frequency lower than the cut-off frequency of the filters gets blocked, while any signal with a frequency higher than the cut-off frequency passes with full amplitude. Third is band pass filter. Band pass filter allow a specific band of frequency and block any other frequencies lower or higher than its passband frequency. This type of filter has two cut-off frequency, which is lower and upper cut-off frequency. Passband blocks low frequency and high frequencies, while allow the frequencies in between known as the passband frequencies. Fourth is band reject filter. This type of filter attenuates the signal whose frequency lies in a fixed band of frequency. It is also known as band stop filter or notch filter. It works completely opposite to the pass band filter. It allows low frequency signal and high frequency signal, but it does not allow a fixed band of frequency in between. It also has lower and upper cut-off frequency, and any signal having frequency in between this cut-off frequency are rejected by the filter. The last one is application of filter. Tuner in radio, passband filter in tuner of the radio allow a fixed frequency to the output speaker, treble and bass of the speaker. has a lower frequency and treble has high frequency. They are separate using high pass and low pass filter and are separately routed to corresponding bass speaker and treble speaker for clear music. Anti-aliasing is a low-pass filter that filters out the high-frequency components from a signal before sampling. Null filter are band reject filter with a narrower bandwidth that filter out any interference signal. Power supply smoothing. The output of the power supply, which is a rectifier, has an AC ripple in it. These frequencies are filtered out using a low-pass filter, which results in smoothing the output signals. Noise separations that are used in communication systems from noise removal from the received signals.